All right, so this morning for our runners with weights, we are going to warm up with something light. So I have a 5 pound, but it doesn't need to be that light for you. 5 to 15 is probably good because we're, of course, warming up. And then for our main set, we don't need anything special except for regular weights, whatever you've got. So let's get ready. So we are going to start, we always start with good posture, but we're going to start with good posture in a half kneel position. So get your weight close by there and let's get into our half kneel. So we are going to start with some half kneeling halos. And so I want you to think about, before you pick up that weight, always as much space as you can between the bottom of your rib cage and the top of your hips. So feel that space. Feel your shoulders rolled back, then go ahead and grab your weight and let's get some halos in. So what you're trying to do is not let your knee move. So easy to do would be like collapsing body here and here, but instead we're keeping this really good posture as we come around our head and really just try and mess up our ponytail. That's the idea. Okay, everyone go the other way. Good morning, Allison. Glad you're here. All right, so we are up in this position. Got our halos in, put this weight down, stay in this side though, and let's just do a quick glide while we're in this position. So we're not working on tight glute. We're not worrying about stretching that hip. We're just gliding through the hip, getting some mobility through our foot and ankle. All right. And then go ahead and switch sides. So switch it up and then get into your good posture first. Make sure we're keeping all that space. And then let's get back. Halos on this side, see how it goes. Maybe it feels like, wow, this side's easier. You might feel like, okay, this side, my knee is going cattywampus. See if you can really keep in control. We're trying to just make sure we've got good stability here. So keep it going. Okay, switch your rotate the other side, really mess up your ponytail the other way. And then let's go ahead and put the weight down. Good morning, Jill. And then glide forward and back. All right. Jill is with us hot off her win. You heard it right here. Win at the Biz Johnson Marathon. Don't be embarrassed. That is awesome. Or shy. I shouldn't say embarrassed. Why would you be embarrassed of something like that? So going for that mobility here, just coming forward and back. Trail Marathon in Susanville, California. Yay. Very cool. All right, and then let's go ahead, stand it up. All right, so we're going for just some easy squats. Keep your weight nearby because then we're going to change it to a counterbalance squat. So you can see my squat is not very low. That's fine. Yours doesn't need to be either. We're warming up. All right, when you feel like, okay, I've got my knees, the creaks out of my knees, you can pick up a weight. Again, just 5 to 15 pounds, and then we're just going to counterbalance as we come down. So again, we're just doing this as a warm-up. This helps us warm up everything, shoulders, glutes, all the things. But again, this posture sticks. So we never come down there. There's no weird crunching thing happening, right? Just coming down, out, good. All right, that counterbalance squat, the idea is it should help us stay back into our heels a little bit, get our butt back and down. All right, 3, 2. All right, we're gonna do a single leg deadlift. On these, what I want you to think about is staying up onto our forefoot, right? When we're running, we are trying to get not too much of a heel strike. All of us do it. That's okay. Most of us do it, I should say. But I want you to think about this being up on your forefoot. So let's go ahead, get your weight in the opposite side of the standing leg. Again, light one, and then single leg deadlift. Oh my goodness. Okay. With my fancy shoe here, with my broken side, that is not going very well. So I'll show you on one side only, but going for that nice low, going for not super low. What we're trying to do is get our back parallel to the ground. So our weight should be just about knee height and then right back up. So let's see it, everybody. You don't need to come down lower. Just because you can doesn't mean you need to, right? We're in the warm-up phase. So it's just one side. We're staying on one side the whole time, trying to make sure we've got good balance. All right, 3, 2, let's switch it to the other side. So I just saw, so there's good scientific literature on being able to get up from the ground as a marker of longevity. Anyway, apparently now, so is balance. So I saw something about just being able to balance on one foot for 10 seconds shows, you know, longevity. And I don't know what age they're looking at. I need to look at this study because I quickly saw it this morning, like a headline. And I was thinking 10 seconds, we routinely in this class hold our balance for 30 seconds, full minute. So you guys don't worry, we're going to live forever. All right, stop there. And then let's just put down our weight. I want us to make sure we open up through our chest and let's get into step backs. So we're going to step back one side and then the other. I want you to make sure your thumb is leading behind and that you're opening up through the hips by pushing the hips forward and then pushing those thumbs back. Awesome. All right, keep this going. This one, you guys know what you're doing. Sometimes I'm gonna have to not do it. My fancy foot boot is awesome for protecting my broken part, but not great for flexing my foot. So keep this going. Just one more on each side. There's one. And then the other side. All right, let's continue our warm up now on the ground. What we're gonna do first is a low plank hold. So that is a plank in our forearms. And then we're going to transition it to a fancy side plank. So everyone go ahead, get down into plank position. We're gonna start it in 3, 2, or quick that sip of coffee, I got it. And then now you're on the ground, go for it. Getting into that low plank. All right, everyone's holding a low plank. So now while you're in that low plank, let's talk it through. First, ears are far away from your shoulders, right? Okay, good. Now let's go through chest. Push that chest away from the ground. Now everyone squeeze your glutes. Good. Okay, now you're in that hold. Now we're going to hold it for 15 more seconds. And I want you just breathing in, like everything's relaxed, everything's cool, I'm amazing. Think some kind of great thought. You're looking just over your hands, feeling awesome. 3, 2. All right. So now promise some side planks. For a side plank, what I want us to do, because I know all of you can do these really well, we're going to do side plank with a step over. So what that looks like is we're going to be up in this side plank, and the step over is that top leg. We're going to come forward and back, and forward and back. So everyone go ahead and get started. Whatever side you're on, we're doing 30 seconds per side. So you can have your arm lifted up because shoulders are stacked right over each other. You can have it on your hip. Doesn't really matter. I don't want your arm in front. If you are needing to put your arm in front, and what I mean by that is up here, then don't move your legs. It's too hard. So I'd rather have your shoulders stacked. Oh, look at that. 3, 2, go ahead, switch sides. I'm not switching sides. That side doesn't work, but I'm watching you guys. And for those of you who are live with me, everyone nailed it on the recorded version. Hopefully you're feeling good about this one. Everyone's going for it. Okay, shoulders stacked, neck is long and in line with your body. So you're not looking forward. Definitely don't need to be looking at your toes. Definitely don't need to be looking at your knees. And if there's dust bunnies, just don't look at them. Don't need that kind of negativity to start the day. All right, keep this up. There's 5 more seconds on this side, and then we're going to transition onto our backs. Actually, sorry, we're going to transition to a tabletop. I miscued that one. All right, let's tabletop, everybody. So hands and knees position. So in our hands and knees position, we're going to do a glute lift and then transition it to a donkey kick. So I want us to make sure our glutes are warmed up. We're going to do less squats today. So for our workout here, for our warm up here, we're going to take one leg. We're going to go from down up, and so we're just going to do a glute lift here. So go ahead and join me, and then we'll transition that to a donkey kick. So everyone's on with me here. Good. So this is the same thing as when we're holding a good plank, that we have our ears and shoulders nowhere near each other. They're staying, neck is staying nice and long, and you're pushing the ground away. So you're not letting your back sort of collapse down. Really push that ground away. That forces you to keep yourself stable through your torso, and then go ahead, bend your knee. Your foot is flat, like you're pushing up the ceiling. Go ahead, you're pushing up the ceiling now. So it's a little bit of a pulse. It's not that full, big movement of the donkey kick, but hopefully you're feeling this through your glute and maybe your hamstring too. Bonus. All right. Let's get this going for another 5 seconds. And we're going to go to the other side. 3, 2. All right. Back to a good tabletop. So readjust your position. All right. Extend that leg. Here we go. Lifting that glute from the ground just up. So I want you to imagine when you're at the top of the lift, your glute is tight in a way that if I came to your house and pushed down on your ankle, you would be surprised, but nothing would happen, right? Because you are holding tight with your glute. All right. Good. Keeping the gaze above your hands. And we're going to transition into our donkey kick in 5 seconds. So hang out here for 3, 2, and go ahead, bend, flatten that foot, raise the roof. All right. Good. So really go for it here. The movement is small, but you should definitely be feeling it concentrated in your butt. All right. Oh, these look good. I see nice long bodies. That's what we're looking for. Long from your head all the way to your knee. 5 more seconds. Then we get to go on our back for the final thing. Glute ridge holds. Done. Go for it. Onto your back. So nice and simple here. We're just going to lie on our back. Everyone relax your spine so it feels like it's falling down towards the ground in a big exhale. Let your rib cage point down towards the ground. So no flaring ribs open to the world. You're pushing them down. Now, everyone go ahead and make sure your heels are near your butt. And let's go ahead and lift and lower. Lift and lower. Just get a couple lift and lowers in here. Now I want you to do a lift, hold, and lower. So as you lift, I want you to feel that long extended hip and then lower. Nice. All right, couple more, and then we're going to hold. So lift, hold, and lower on your own time here, whatever feels good. And then come on up. We're going to do a 30-second hold right here. So everyone should have your glutes squeezed, pushing you up. So you're not pushing up with your back, you're squeezing up with your glutes. Just because we're holding our glutes doesn't mean we need to hold our breath. So everyone breathe, don't forget. All right, keep this up. I said 30 seconds, which means there's just 10 more seconds to go. That's my reminder. Breathe. The last 3, 2. All right, drop it down. Warm up is warm. So now we are good to go. We are going to get started on our first set. Our first set is always a balance set. So we are going to use a little bit of lighter weights. And we're going to do 2 things. I'll show you what they are. First thing is a single leg shoulder press. So again, we're practicing that single leg balance. So what we're going to do is be standing on one foot. The weight is in the opposite side. And we'll be up in this nice knee drive position. So it's not here, it's here with the leg is parallel. Then we'll be getting that shoulder press. All right, so that's the first thing. The second thing we're going to do is a kneeling slasher. So we'll be in this position, whatever weight you're going to be, you'll come here. So we're working on that same balance, just like we were in the front when we were doing those halos, not letting our knees go cattywampus or our hips collapse. All right, so let's get a weight that you can shoulder press. I want you to be able to get to not failure where you're like under it, but it feels hard and maybe you can't last for a full 30 seconds and that's fine. Something heavy. All right, everyone get a weight up. Let's see it. All right. So the weight side and the knee side are the same. Let's do it. Good. Getting your knuckles up to the ceiling. All right. Everyone's got that big space here. You're holding like you're doing a plank, but you're not holding your breath. Beautiful. I love it. You guys have such nice balance. Kind of makes me want to make it harder for you, like, but I'm not going to do that. I just did it. All right. 3, 2, great. Switch sides. Just go right into the other side. Switching sides. All right. And same thing. We really feel that balance. Good. If these feel like too easy, no big deal, then your weight is too light. So it'll be time for you to get a new one. Nice. And also, if you feel like, oh man, I have to really stop and sort of hold and do that readjusting, like I'm here and I have to sort of hang out here for a second, totally fine. 3, 2, 1, right? We want our bodies having to figure out what to do. If every rep is perfect, then you're already too good at it and you need to progress it. All right, so we're coming into those kneeling slashers. So with these, we're coming with the weight from our hip, imagine our hip, to right overhead, not too far behind us. I don't want us straining. All right, so here we go. All right. So of course our hips are moving, but I want you to make sure it doesn't feel like your hip is collapsing or your knee is going nuts. Good. This is good for our obliques, hips. And it's always good to feel strong in the morning, right? All right. 5 more seconds. And good. Go ahead. Let's switch sides. Again, if these feel like I don't get it, I don't see why these are so hard, your weight is too light. All right, let's go for it. So I'm using my dumbbell here, holding from side to side. This one has a really nice grip, but you could absolutely use your kettlebell. Anything goes here. If you have a slam ball, that would work as well. No. I don't think you guys on live do, but some of you I know have slam balls. So whatever you've got, use it. Good. And good. All right. So our balance set, we always go through these 2 times. So we're doing 1 more time through, back to those shoulder presses. So the shoulder presses, obviously, it's not just about that good posture, but about holding that single leg position, moving in that single leg position, just like when we're running. All right, so weights up, knees up. Let's do it. All right, so I had you guys sending me Netflix recommendations. Thank you, by the way. So last night, Allison, we tried Katla on Netflix. So if you guys have Netflix, it's Katla. Anyway, it's Icelandic, and the premise is one of the towns has a volcano explode and then science fiction things ensue. Anyway, I will say it's kind of slow and feels a little artsy, like drama. Switch sides. But I was totally sucked in. So I thought it would be a show for Brian. Okay, I'm doing the other side. My knee's not up, but yours is. Here we go. Anyway, Brian's the one who's into the sci-fi, mostly because I don't like anything scary. And by scary, I mean, it can't be scarier than like a Kleenex commercial for me. So, but so far it doesn't feel scary. And it's a mystery that I'm already invested in. So I'll let you know, but if you're looking for something else on your queue, Katla, I don't know, I'm only 1 show in, so it could turn weird or scary or terrible, but so far I'm in. I'll keep you posted. All right, 5 more seconds. Good. All right, and let's go back down into that half kneel. Got those thrashers. If this is bothering your knee, sorry, thanks Em for a reminder. If you want to put something under your knee, yoga mat, pillow, totally fine. This should not be painful to do. And so you'll modify your form. Don't need that. Let's go. All right. Coming right down to the hip and back. So The pace that I'm doing makes sense for the weight I have. If you have something lighter, you can absolutely go a little bit faster. But if you have something pretty heavy, you might be going slower than me. That is fine. Good. 5 more seconds. And switch it up. Switch sides. And then go right into it. Just start. Let's do it. All right. Good. Okay, we just have 10 more seconds. So if your arms are starting to feel like, wait a minute, we're runners, it's okay. You're almost there. 3, 2, nicely done. All right. So get a drink while I tell you about our main set. So our main set, we go through 3 times. So our main set, we're going to do a plan what we did on Wednesday night with that squat to a side kick, because I want us we're working on those glute meads and outer thigh there. So I want us coming here and a little bit back so that you get that glute med. Those are underworked, so we're not doing that today. So what we'll do is have our weight up in this goblet squat position. So we'll get that goblet squat, kick it back diagonal, and then other side. Then we'll go right into squat lower here. We'll be into this pulse position. So we'll still have our weight, but we'll feel it through our feet. I want us feeling that weight shift and transfer where we really got it good through the heel, but our whole foot's working. Then we'll transition to the ground. We'll have our weight, I should say, in hand, and we're going to work on our hamstrings. So for the hamstrings, it's like that glute bridge position, except our legs are much more extended. So for home, we've got our hamstrings, our heels are pushing down and towards our body. So you can have your butt up or just, it feels like it's coming up. So it depends on how you're feeling that, but we'll just be in that hold position. Then we'll transition from that hold position, the weight up here, to a chest press and hip pump. So we'll chest press and hip pump. So for those of you who are with me on Wednesday night, it's a modification of that with just more weight. All right. So we are starting with our squat. So I want you to get something that you can goblet squat with. Remember, this is the one where I'm trying to make sure as runners, we can get up to at least a third of our body weight. Not saying that you have to tell me that if you're there or not, I don't care, but that's what we're aiming for at least. I think that runners should be able to do that. So let's get going. Here we go. Goblet squat. Glute med, so you're kicking back and diagonal. Good. Other side. Good. All right. What pace should you go? I want you going at a pace that works for the weight you have. So if your weight is very heavy, you may need to hang out for a second. And that's great. You know, I'm always encouraging heavier and heavier. So keep this going. Let's see how it looks out there. Good. I see some heavy kettlebells. I love it. You can hold them upside down or right side up. Totally great. But make sure, yeah, feeling it here. 3, 2, now come right down. Don't stop. We're coming right down into that pulse. So we're holding that weight. So I want you to make sure you've got that weight not coming out and pulling you forward, but feel your feet. Are they on the ground? Toes, big toes on the ground? They should be. Check it. Should feel weight through your heel. Push through your heel. What does that feel like? Now push onto your toes a little bit. What does that feel like? Now just get fully centered on your feet. That's where we are. We got 5 more seconds. 3, 2. All right. Now let's get the weight that we're going to use above our head for that chest press. But before we chest press, we're just going to hold it up while we do our hamstrings. If that's too hard for you, you don't need the weight above your head doing those hamstrings. So everyone go ahead, get down on the ground. Let's see what this looks like. Go ahead and get on the ground. I want you to get your legs extended so there's maybe 8 inches or so between your knees and the ground. So you're not in a full glute bridge position, but your legs are a little more extended. Yes. All right. I can see Erin and Sarah. You guys are good. So you're representing the whole class. Perfect. So now weights go ahead above your head. Now push through those heels. Either get your butt up or it starts feeling like it's coming up. You should really feel this in your hamstrings. You might feel it in your glutes a little bit too, but if it feels too much like glutes, then extend your legs out a couple more inches and feel that. If just holding it is too hard, you can lift and lower, absolutely fine. 5 more seconds. We're not going to hold these too long for the first set. Just getting used to it. 3, 2. All right, go right into the next one where we do a chest press. And then get those feet up. So feet are up, legs are up. Feet are up and hands are up. We're in that dead bug position. And then you chest press and then pop those hips. I know you guys all know these. We've done these many times before. Chest press, pop. Yes, good. All right. The trick with those hip pops is that we're not letting our feet come down towards the ground any more than when we started. That's the theory, right? If they come down a little bit, you are not going to get punished. I'm not calling you out on those, but that's the goal, right? Trying to not let our feet come forward. 10 more seconds, everybody. You got this. All right, 3, 2, yes. Sweet, so that was our main set. If you need to go get a heavier weight, do it. If you're uncertain, try it. What's the worst that happens? You do a less rep or so. And if it feels like your reps are getting sloppy, you can always switch back. But want you getting in the heavy weight, that's how we're making good change. All right, so let's get our squat weight, whatever weight you're using for your goblet squats, kettlebell, dumbbell, whatever it is, holding that weight up. All right, at the top of your squat, first of all, feel your glutes tight. You're in good position because this is where you want to end. Even though we're not exactly ending here, we're ending with that glute med kickback. Here we go. Squat, kick it. Yeah. All right. That's probably like some 90s hip hop song, like squat and kick it. Good. All right. If you feel like, whoa, your balance is not great, you can do a couple. Just getting in those squats. Otherwise, come back to those kicks when you can. Good. All right, 3, 2, come on down and hold. We're down into this position. So this is where you get to feel this low squat, feel your feet. First, it's always making sure your big toes on the ground and your arches are not collapsed. So feel that position, see if you can play a little bit, lean forward and back, sit back into this squat. All right, 5 more seconds. And 3, 2, woot. All right, onto the ground. Go ahead, everyone. Take a breath, get onto the ground. We're gonna do those hamstring holds with or without the weight overhead. And then the chest press and the hip hop combination. All right, this whole workout is like a hip hop. Saying that does not come out right. All right, hamstrings first, go for it. Everyone's in position, get those feet out, about 8 inches between your knee and the ground. So it's big enough, not for the cat to go through, but for the hamsters to go through. Yes, all right, you're in it. So pull or lift and lower, it doesn't matter to me. You will feel it either way, or you should feel it either way, I should say. I can't make you feel something, but readjust your position. Back of your legs should be feeling the squeeze. We got 5 more seconds than last time, which means 5 more seconds to go. 3, 2, transition right into your chest press and popping those hips up. Good. All right, press and pop. Good. Nice. I see some good kettlebell coming up here. That's great. It's kind of awkward holding that kettlebell in that chest press position. You can try it out different ways. You don't have to hold it by the handle. You can hold it right around the bell. That's probably the easier way. Play with it, whatever feels good. As long as you don't feel like you're going to drop it on your face because you're super beautiful with all your teeth. Let's keep it that way. Nice. All right. Keep this going for the last 5 seconds. Really strong final 2 reps here in 3, 2. Yes. All right. Good. So we're coming back up. All right. So our glute meets, don't worry, we will foam roll them on Monday because, oh my goodness, I've been trying to make sure I'm keeping them in my workouts and definitely having to foam roll more because when you're using them more, surprise, they get tight. All right, let's get into our goblet squat position. So the top of that goblet squat, our shoulders were no trolls, everybody, back. Nice and proud of whatever weight you've got, glutes tight at the top. Let's do it. Come on down, glute med, good. So it's not directly to the side or directly behind. Whoa, I cannot stand on that leg. Why am I still doing it? Me. Okay, I'm gonna get used to this just as soon as it's time to get out of this boot. All right, down. Good. All right, keep this going. You guys look good. Where are your eyes? They should not be looking down. Just like when we're running, we're looking out and about 10 feet out in front of us. You don't even need to look down though, but eyes straight up. So our neck is up because we don't want that pressure down. And let's transition to this low squat. Here we are into this low squat. All right, everyone, check your big toes. Check your arches engaged. Feel that forward and back. Get into a position that feels good. And here's our last 10 seconds. Breathe. No problem, right? Nope. Good. I hear all of you saying, no problem, Dana. All right. And good. Final thing, hamstrings. So everyone, give yourself 10 seconds. That's not very many seconds. Whenever I say that, I always think, oh, I'm being so generous. That's ridiculous. It's not. You're just getting onto the ground. Anyway, that's how long it just takes. All right, we're going to start our hamstring curls with weight overhead. If you want, now go for it. So if you have that weight overhead, great. If that is difficult because it means you're shifting weight side to side and you can't control yourself through the core, then don't have the weight up. It's totally fine to have your arms at your sides, balancing you. Otherwise, killing it right here with really strong posture. It's like you're in a plank, but for your hamstrings. All right, a ham plank, hammy plank. 5 more seconds. So deep breaths here for that last 3, 2, go ahead, transition to the chest press. So if you need your weight, grab it. Otherwise, press and pop and press and pop. You got this. Beautiful. All right. Well, I am super pumped because this is our last time too. So that means we get to do our power set last. All right, keep this going for 10 more seconds. Just 5 to go. Looks really good. I see feet popping through the screen. That's what I like. Done, 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 done. All right. So our final set of the day, we're always trying to get a little more power, force production, and some hip work. So today we are going to do swings, pop cleans, and then lateral jumps. So our lateral jumps, always important for us as runners, moving side to side, because we always are moving forward and back. Who needs that? We practice that enough. Let's practice our lateral jumps. So swings, what we're going to do is start with 3 low swings, because I want us making sure the bottom of our swing is awesome. We've been working on this a lot, so you all know it. We're come down, and that low swing, you can see my chest is higher than my butt. I'm hiking that football. Just do it 3 times, and then we'll transition to our swing. So we got swings first, pop cleans, these. That's where you have the weight between your feet, and we come pop. So the weight feels weightless here, really using something heavy. I am not giving you good leadership on that one. I'm using something light. Don't have my heavy weights in here. Not good for today, but nice and heavy. And then our lateral jumps, I want them weighted. So potentially you could use what you were pushing above your head. That might be a little too heavy, or you could use what you were using for those kneeling slashers in our first set. So I'm not going to do these, but you know, we're making a rainbow arc shape from side to side as we either step side to side or as you jump side to side. The trick being the weight wants to go behind your hips and you are not letting that. So we're resisting rotation, which is exactly what we're doing when we're running, right? If we're running and going this way and then that way, we are super inefficient and our trail running will probably be just off the trail. So we are going to start with those swings. Everyone set it up. I want to see you set up with your kettlebell in front. So you can see mine's about 2 feet in front of my body so that when I sit down into the position, I reach out, I can feel it, and then I can sink back by pulling this back and getting into position. All right, 3 low swings, go, let's see it. 3 low swings, and then go right into your swing, regular swings, once you got it. Okay, nice. All right, keep the swings going, good. Now, I want you to feel like you're not letting your kettlebell, pull you forward. This is not a weird cartoon where you're gonna be launched into the air. So keep your shoulders back. Snap the back of your legs. I see ponytails flying, it's working. Good. 10 more seconds. Lots of hip power here for the last 3, 2, nicely done. All right, so get out the heavy things. Get out the big weights for these pop cleans. I know how strong you guys are. 35 pounds minimum. You can do more than that. All of you on this call recorded. I don't get to see you guys, but I'm sure you can too. Let's do it. So coming from down here and up to nice and tall. At the top of that pop clean, you should have tight glutes, be in a really strong position because it would be easy. So you can do it with a dumbbell as well. It's easy to have an arch back and stop here. The weight on your chest, like, no doing that, please. So at the top, real strong, like you're 2 inches taller than you are. Tight glutes. If it feels like this is hurting your low back, then I want you really thinking about squeezing so that your pelvis is in the right position. Good, lots of power here. 3, 2, nicely done. All right. Give yourself a breather. You're going to need a different weight. So whatever you are popping up is not the same weight. You can go from side to side. So if you are not jumping and you need to keep your feet together, I will do this as modified, going from hip to hip. But you can see my hips are not moving. My torso is not moving. I'm just trying to go from here to here, controlling the rotation here. Otherwise, if you can, I want you big power, side to side, big jumps, lateral jumps, go. Let's see it. Hip to hip, right? So it shouldn't be behind because then you're just straining. But the bigger the motion, then the faster it's coming downhill, right? And the harder it is to stop there so that you make it harder. So this is how you can take a weight that's a little bit too light, make it a little bit heavier. So this is obviously easier for me than doing this one. All right, last 5 seconds. I just tried to say all those words at the exact same time and done. Last 5 seconds is what I was trying to say. But instead, I said FAFSA. All right, let's get in position for the swing. So this time, no need for those low swings. We got in that quick practice. Let's just get our big swings. But we start in that same position, exactly how we would do the low swing, where we're 2 feet back or so. All right, everyone get ready. Before you start, get in position. Can you feel your hamstrings? So everyone get into your swing position. Once you can feel your hamstrings, go for it. Good, we've got 30 seconds on the clock. Let's see it, shoulders stay back. We're here, not out here. Good, these look good. I stay up, nice swings. Keeping your breathing going. 5 more seconds. 3, 2. All right, go ahead and put it down with good form. All right. If you're using the same weight for that pop clean, please be careful not picking up the weight in this like garbage zombie position, getting that weight into position in good form. And pop cleans, we're going to start in 5 seconds. So everyone get standing, feeling really positive, superhero position. Let's go. Good. Glutes tight at the top. Your whole body from glutes to shoulders should feel like you're in a plank at the top of those pop cleans. Basically the same form that you're looking for there. All right, 10 more seconds. Good. Really didn't do any planks today because these are them. 3, 2. All right, nicely done. Okay, if you're jumping side to side, make sure you clear your space so you don't kick anything and have regrets for a couple weeks. You know, I've heard of such things. And let's get our lateral jumps going, or lateral steps, or just holding your place. Let's go it. Let's go for it. Let's go it. Let's do it. Okay, I think I need to end this workout because I can barely talk anymore. All right, going for it. Good. Resisting that rotation, even though we're rotating, right? We're resisting over rotation. That's the whole goal here. And getting close. Really keep those jumps with power. I see the jumps getting smaller and smaller. The last 2 need to be big ones. Here we are. Good. All right. And our final time through, we're going to start in about 20 seconds. So everyone can catch your breath so we can have a really good final swing set here. You know, we're going right through it, but I know you guys have the ability. You are superstars at endurance. All right. So making sure your weight's in good placement. So we are ready when it is our time. All right. We're always starting these swings from a really good spot. We don't just bend down and start swinging. We get down into position. Go ahead, get down with me. Get that weight back. Feel your weight. Get into where you can feel your hamstrings. Your eyes are up. Let's go. Good. Good. If we set it up well, we should be able to really have some good swings. This is a lifetime pursuit, getting a good swing. Yes, really snap with that whole back of your legs, the whole back of your body, right? The shoulders are having to really hold you. Your butt is keeping you at the top, good position. 5, 4, 3, 2, nicely done. All right, 2 things left to go. The pop cleans and those lateral jumps. All right, so about a minute left. You got this. All right, am I saying that to myself? Maybe. All right, here we go. Pop cleans, let's do it. Nice. All right, experiment with different feelings of this one. Experiment what it feels like if you push the ground away versus pulling this up. You're not trying to pull up the weight. You're trying to push the ground away. Let that weight fly. Even if it's light, it can still fly through the air. That's what we're looking for. Yes, good. If it's super heavy, your biceps might be like, what are we doing? That's good. 3, 2. All right. And get that weight out of the way. We're going to finish up with our resisting of rotation here. All right, that side to side movement, lateral jumps. Everyone start with your good posture, knees soft. Here we go. Good. If for any reason this is starting to hurt your back, just stop. We're almost at the end of this workout. There's no reason to push through if things are feeling bad. And there's no reason to modify at this point because there's only 20 less. Sorry, we've got like basically 10 seconds left. So let's just really go for it. Push those big lateral jumps. Hip power, people. Yes. All right. And 3, 2. Beautiful. That's some good work right there. All right, put the weight down carefully. Get some water, get some deep breaths, and then we are going to do a quick cool down before this day is yours, before you have to go from workout person to changing the back of your screen to some kind of professional looking thing. All right, so everyone go ahead. Let's stand in this good position again. Let's get our shoulders rolled back so your hands are facing me, deflecting any of the incoming baloney that's coming into you today. You will deflect all of that. All right, so we're here. Want us feet a little more than hip distance apart. I want you to come forward with your head, hands come back. So now we're trying to get the top of our head and our hands as far apart as we can. So we're here in this parallel position. Our chest is pushing towards the ground. You feel this in the back of your legs. Come back up. Push our hands together at the top here. Bringing our shoulders down. So really squeezing your hands together. Shoulders come down. Let's do that again. Hands come behind us. Head and hands as far apart as possible. So super long back. This should feel really good. Come on back up. Squeeze at the top. I mean, seriously, do it. Squeeze it up here. Shoulders come down. Good. And one more time. Last time on this. Hands come back. Head comes forward. Come on up. Squeeze. Shoulders come down. Good. And then everyone relax it. Forward fold. Skim your fingers over the ground. Let your arms relax. Let your neck relax. Again, you're still feeling it behind your legs, but you should feel like your back is totally relaxed. Neck is feeling good. Just hang there for a sec. All right, think about something awesome that you're going to do this weekend for yourself, and then roll it up. And step back on one side. Just whatever side you pick, step it back, thumbs are back. Now, while we're in this step back position, we're not going to move alternating sides, but I want you to think about heel down on the back side. So get that heel down. Okay, I'm falling over in this boot. Then hip forward, so you get a hip stretch to that hip. Think about lifting your rib cage an inch up. Thumbs go back just a little bit more. Get in 2 deep breaths. And let's switch sides. All right, so switching sides, go through the exact same thought. So we're starting at our heel. So that back heel gets pushed down towards the ground. The hip comes forward. So you feel stretched through that hip of the back leg. Then think about raising up your rib cage by an inch. Okay, it might not, but that's okay. And then thumbs are back. Getting in 2 deep breaths. And then you are done. You guys, Kevy did not move one. That is not a pillow. That is the dog. She's unimpressed, didn't move at all. Bye, Jill. Good to see you. All right. If you want to say hi, please do.